Hi guys, this is an AC to DC converter. It can convert 220 volts AC to 12 volts DC, and also it can convert 110 volts AC to 12 volts DC. Although the output voltage is variable, I mean if you want to get 12 volts you can get 12. If you want a 9 volts you can get 9 volts. You can see here the output is written 0 to 12 volts, and the maximum current for this power supply box is 17 amperes. Although as you can see there are two separate notations for the input: 100 to 120 volts AC at 3 amperes and 200 to 240 volts AC at 2.5 amperes, 50 to 60 hertz. Now guys, there is a switch provided here. I don't know if you can see, this is the switch. It is written over here 110 or 20 is selected by switch before power on. Please check input voltage avoiding damage. So this means that if you have around 110 volts supply from your home socket, then you cannot use this at 220 volts. You have to make sure that this switch is set at 110 volts. If it is at 220, then obviously it is going to get damaged. Now here in India I'm using 220 volts to 240 volts supply. You can see 110, 220. Now here it is also written 220 to 240 volts. So yeah, I can use this here in India. It is somewhere around 230 to 240 in socket supply. So towards the right, which is already selected, I guess we can see, yeah, the switch is towards the right and it is selected to 220 to 240 volts. Okay, and if you need to select 110 volts, then you will have to open this case and push the switch towards the left, and then it will be selected to 110 volts AC. Now this is the display screen, that is for displaying the voltage, the DC voltage. Like you are giving 220 volts input supply, then the DC voltage that is set from 0 to 12 volts will be displayed on this screen, and that is managed with the help of this potentiometer. Yeah. So guys, this is in general line and neutral, so AC supply will be connected over here, and negative negative positive positive is DC, and this is the earth or yeah, ground wire. So that's the intro. So guys, since this is just a demonstration video, so I'm not going to connect the earth terminal, although it is highly recommended that when you purchase this product or have it already, then you should connect the earth terminal, because it is for your own protection and safety from electric shock. Okay, so let's do the wirings and connections. So guys, here as you can see that the power supply has been turned on and the meter is indicating 12 volts. Okay, now let's check the output with the help of a multimeter on these pinouts. Okay, so these two, the 4 and 5, these two are negative, so it should indicate 0 volts. Yeah, now comes the negative and positive, 5 and 6, that should indicate somewhere around 12 volts. 11.76, which is almost 12 volts. Okay, and same as for this one, 11.76 volts. Now we can adjust the voltage with the help of this driver and adjust the potentiometer. And of course this green light indicates that the power supply has been connected to an external cord. First, turning the knob in the anti-clockwise direction, you can see that the voltage is increasing. Now 12 volts is the highest volts, so let's see how much further or beyond 12 volts is this power supply box going to produce. 12.3, 12.78, okay, 13.1, that's good, 13.5, 13.8, 14.1, 14.3, 14.6. Oh, 15 volts. Yeah, 15.5 is the highest, beyond which it is not increasing. Now I am rotating the driver in the clockwise direction to reduce the volts. Yeah, I believe that 14.2 volts is best for charging batteries. Okay, so yeah, it's set to 14.2 volts. Okay, so guys, let's turn it off and connect the DC wires so that we can consume the output power, 12 volts, 17 amps. Okay, so guys, as you can be seen, that wiring is complete now. The red one is for positive and this black one is for negative. Yeah, let's turn this on. The voltage, as can be seen, has been set to 14.2 volts. Let's measure it with this multimeter. In the voltage mode, okay. Yeah, 13.95, almost 14 volts. Okay, now let's put some actual load. So guys, for actual load testing, I have a few bulbs from motorbikes. Let's try them. The first one, as you already know, is the car indicator bulb. That is the smallest. It takes around 2 amps and 12 volts, meaning 24 watts. Yeah, it is glowing perfectly. Wow. and there is no voltage drop on the meter there. Yeah, nice. Now let's go a little higher. Okay, so guys, now comes the car headlamp bulb. This is a 55 watts bulb. Okay, here as you can see it is written 60 to 55 watts, 12 volts. So now I'm going to test this bulb. Yeah, you can see it is glowing perfectly. Yeah, it is getting very hot. And now comes the final 120 watts bulb. Actually it is 24 volts 250 watts, which means it will take nearly around 10 amperes at 24 volts. So since I'm giving it just 14 volts, so it will be taking in somewhere around 5 amperes at 14 volts. So it is going to be somewhere around 70 watts that this reflector bulb is going to consume. It is from a projector. You can see how thick the filament is. The tungsten filament is really thick. Yeah, let's try this one, and I have to be careful since the terminals of this bulb are really close to each other. Yeah, I don't want to short circuit those wires. Okay, get ready for the show, guys. Yeah. Yo. It's very hot. Yeah, so guys, now comes the heavy inductive load testing with the help of the high current 12 volts DC motors. So first I'm going to start with the 5 ampere DC motor with a voltage rating from 12 to 100 volts. So at present I'm going to provide it with minimum voltage, which is 14 volts, and it is rated from 12 to 100 volts. So the RPM is not going to be very high, but the torque is going to be very high because this converter here is going to feed in huge current. Okay, so let's connect the wires. Guys, one wire has been connected. Now comes the second one. Yeah, the motor has started running, and now I'm going to try and stop it. You can see that it is not stopping. See, it's not stopping. So this was for testing 5 amps. Let's go a little higher to 6 amps using the car power window motor. Well, this is actually an unstoppable motor because of the worm gear system. Yeah, it is unstoppable even at 2 volts. Imagine what will happen at 12 volts. No wonder it is used for power window. Okay, let's do. Oh, you see the torque. Okay, once again I would like to show that to you. Yeah, the motor starts jumping. You see. Extremely high torque. Yeah, it's nothing for this unstoppable. This power supply is really good for DC motors. The current is really high and maximum current capability around 17 amps at 12 volts. It can almost run any 12 volt DC motor, most of them at least. Yeah, you can see that it is running really fast. Connections. And there is no drop of voltage, not even 0.1 volts drop indicated on the meter, display meter here. It's just amazing. Now let's go for an even higher current motor. Okay, so guys, now comes the heavy testing, because now I'm going to use this 64 amps DC motor. Let's try and run this. Although it is going to take 64 amps at the start just for a microsecond, until it picks up speed and the amperes reduce to only 5 or 6 amps. So and that case is with every motor. The starting current is always very high. So the starting current is the maximum current that this motor is going to consume under full load condition. Okay, so let's connect it. Yeah, I think I should use clips because it is going to give a jerk. Okay, get ready guys, and I'm not sure if this power supply box is going to handle this current or this motor. Let's try it anyways. Yeah, the torque is very high. Oh, it is pushing my hand really hard. Okay. Whoa, you can see that there is not even 0.1 volts drop on the power supply display. It's just amazing how fast this is running. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I would like to say that I'm loving this power supply and I'm going to use it a lot. You can see that it is the inertia of rest. Oh, yeah. You see these dots on this wire strands, that is because of the sparks, high current arcs. Okay. Yeah, amazing, isn't it, guys? Now last but not the least, I'm going to test this supply with a 100 amps motor. Actually it's somewhere around 105 or 6 amps, a bike starter motor. So let's disconnect this one and go for that. Now guys, this is an extremely high current DC motor because it uses very less number of turns with a really thick wire inside. You can see the thickness of this wire connected to this terminal, and imagine the current this wire is feeding to the armature winding of this starter motor. Although I have connected this thin wire because I didn't had such a thick wire, so I'm just going to connect it to the supply and not for long. So let's connect one wire. One wire has been connected. Okay, so guys, get ready for the show. Oh yeah, it started. And as I saw, the display voltage actually reduced because the current is very high over here. Okay, once again guys, and also check the display side by side. Oh, the voltage reduced to 5.85. It is actually shorting the power supply. Whoa, the voltage, you saw that it went down to 5.85, very low, and it short circuited for maximum current utilization, which in this motor needed to start. And after it gained speed, the current consumption from this power supply reduced to a great value, because of which the voltage on the display indicated increased again to its somewhere around initial value, somewhere around like 11 or 12 volts. Although it is 14 volts, it is still a large drop considering such a heavy power supply. This indicates that this motor consumes very high current. Okay, so I'm going to test it one more time because I also don't want to damage the power supply by connecting this motor again and again. It is consuming, this power supply is not designed for car or bike starter motors because that current is too high. You heard sound. It was actually racing to somewhere around 20,000 RPM. Okay, so guys, that's all for today's video. Link to buy this product has been provided in the description, and if you have any queries regarding this product, you can always ask them in comments. And I would also like to know your views about this product if you already have it. Okay, so thank you.